Welcome to another episode of eCommerce One, and today's guest is Alexandra Tachalova. Now, Alexandra, I met about 7 years ago at the Marketing Live event in, I think it was Olympia in London.
Yeah, in London, right?
Yeah, somewhere about 7 years ago. Now, Alexandra back then was working for SEM Rush and sort of worked through the ranks of SEM Rush and became director of marketing of SEM Rush, and then set up her own agency and her own very well-known events company. So welcome to the podcast, Alexandra.
Thanks for having me today, Richard. Very excited, and will try my best to answer all your questions.
Thank you
so
so much.
Let's see.
So I think obviously so much no doubt has happened since we first met. I think, like I say, 7 years ago, I did a webinar for you back then, which was a long time
I remember.
ago. I think it was one of my first webinars back then. And obviously you're working at SEM Rush. But since then, obviously you've gone on to do quite a lot of very high profile speaking engagements and your own events, which I need to get to. I know I did notice you had an event coming up, but I guess that's obviously been cancelled.
Yeah, it was. We were actually forced to cancel it because due to epidemic situation, which everyone knows about.
Yes.
So we were actually, which makes September a very, very jam-packed month because I have 2 speaking gigs, plus I am ahead of European Search Award this time. And so they moved also their ceremony on the first week of September. So first I go to a ceremony, then I have, as I remember, Digital Olympus, then one event at SEO Campus in France, and after they straight to Brighton SEO, which will be at the very end of September. Gosh. Yeah, well, very busy month. So they moved everything. Just everyone decided to go with September, which is because. But it makes like nearly any marketer that is involved in any speaking gigs a very very tough months.
So while we're recording this, it's now I think we're on the 2nd of April, which we're only sort of 3 or 4 weeks into the epidemic, depending on where you are in the world. So obviously a lot of the events that Alexandra's talking about have been cancelled, postponed, and everyone has chosen September pretty much at the moment. So.
YostCon as well, because I know John Alderson, who is a part of Yoast team, they also moved it somewhere nearby Digital Olympus, so we moved it to the 14th of September, and they like 12th or something like that.
Okay, so it'd be good if you could just tell the listeners a bit about your career story. I know you've got some amazing experience in the industry, so if you want to tell us a bit how you got started and what you're doing today.
Okay, so well, first of all, I should say that I've never been dreaming about the entrepreneurial venture or something like that. Well, in fact, I was 6 years ago when I was living in SEM Rush, I just wanted to work on my own rather than doing something big. And also before that, in fact, my biggest dream was to be chief of something, whatever it is, maybe like my cat, chief cat officer. But right now, looking at my husband who holds this position, well, I'm not jealous at all.
No.
So I'm very happy where I am, and so right now we are solely focused. So I have like two businesses, which is actually one, Digital Olympus. We just don't write on our website that we do link building because all our clients come to us just through the word of mouth. But we'd love to start, like launch something. We even did a photo shoot, but still have no time, which is I think the biggest problem of literally any small business, that you just so into your internal processes, like helping your clients, doing your regular routine business, that you don't have time to do to set up everything properly. So we are really focused on link building. So we have some quite well-known companies among our clients, like G2. They previously were G2 Crowd, edX. Also, we love working with smaller businesses. We have some guys that just run the affiliate blogs, or might be running smaller businesses.
Yeah.
The only thing that we don't have like clients that are like, you know, B2C, we prefer B2B niche, just due to the process of acquiring links. Because when it comes to B2C market, people, they're like, you know, sites, and the process of acquiring links normally involves money. So, well, bloggers, like B2C bloggers, like fashion bloggers, especially travel bloggers, they all want money. But we don't do this. So, well, the like how we build links, we never pay for them. Basically, that's the reason why enterprise companies come to us. We use relationship based on building. So sort of kind of like, you know, we just connect with sites that are also actively building links. And as a result, we could easily secure links back to our clients and our own websites if we love. And so because we have similar goals.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and also I have Digital Olympus, which is just a conference.
Just a conference.
Just a conference. This time we rented a venue for 400 people. Sadly, we were forced, as we've already discussed, to rebook it, but it's going to happen in the mid of September. Right now, I think we sold, even we were, well, for sure, we issued some refunds because people were asking for them. And that's a part of this game, sadly. While you are first paying on Facebook to acquire those leads and get some sales, and then you are returning this money, which is quite sad for me. Looking especially at Facebook bills, you're like scratching your head. It's like, what a pointless situation.
Very challenging, isn't it? You paid out the money for the Facebook ads to get the bums on seats, and
then returning this money, like including like you do also some customer support to them, so you're spending their time and money in order to return them money.
I mean, the events business as a whole in the whole world, obviously, it's going to be one of the hardest hit industries. You know, so we've just got to. Yeah, it's really challenging, isn't it? Very, very challenging.
Yeah, very challenging. But I think we are in a we are not in the worst position because we've been able to reschedule without additional penalties. Plus, finally, well, our hotel library, they didn't want to allow us to, like, you know, to do anything with our booking. Not like allowing us to reschedule or refund or whatever it is, but then they launched a new rule just for all their chains, because they operate obviously kind of separately from their acro group, so something like that. They have their own rules in each country. So finally they did it, and so we've been even so they allowed us to reschedule it, so we are not really losing a lot of money right now.
Fingers crossed, when this pandemic is over, I think obviously we don't know when.
Hopefully.
We have no real understanding of timescales, really. But I think the reality is people will just want to go out. People will want to go to events eventually. Obviously, we obviously no idea in terms of timescales, really. So I would say your 400 tickets will become 700. You're going to need a bigger venue. That's the way you've got to look at it, I think.
I was considering this for the next year. This, because the first one we did it for 200 people, then we switched to 400 people, and I just like to scale it more. But we will see.
Okay, so I think that's, thank you for that introduction. So I think, knowing Alexandra as I do and observe from afar as well, that Alexandra does some very big things in the industry. Speaks on all the stages, literally, if there isn't really
Thank you, Richard. I appreciate your kind words, but I'm not a speaker.
There isn't really a sort of a high profile stage I think you haven't spoke on in the last few years. And when it comes to link building, that's your sort of passion, but we'll get to that in a minute. I think we're gonna go in there. We're gonna go in quite deep, but I think what would be good to maybe kick off with so the guys that are listening in to the podcast now, we're focused on e-commerce specifically, And I think obviously certain verticals are doing well right now, but a lot of verticals are obviously struggling. Like we talk about event management and travel, and
sadly,
food verticals and different verticals, different things. But overall, there's a percentage of people that are doing pretty well, but there's a lot more that are not doing so well, and need some ideas that are maybe quicker things that e-commerce stores can do. Now, I know there's no magic bullet. There's no sort of secret, day 2 and we've made all this money. But the reality is there are things that we can focus on, I think, that can help us in the short term. What would your sort of thoughts be on that to e-commerce stores right now that are looking to get some quick wins and quicker returns?
I think so. Well, while I'm kind of some companies could start investing in paid ads, I think it might be a good option, but I'm more like on an organic side of things. I'd say I'm more like looking at things that could help e-commerce businesses grow without investing money, but more like time, resources. So I would say, like, for instance, they could try upsell. So for those clients, it doesn't cost anything. And so if you have a client database, you could try to upsell them something that might be done through email marketing, for instance. Or if you have enough resources, you could start upselling goods by doing it on your website, by suggesting like products that normally other buyers prefer to buy together, for instance. That might be a good one. Also, I've noticed that some companies, they also upsell through sending emails by saying like, hey, we reduced the price on particular items that you've recently just browsed on our website, which is also, I think, a good strategy. If you have like, some items that you want to get rid of, finally, that might be a good option. Also, I think one more thing that should be quite beneficial right now, since a lot of businesses are struggling or at least have some limited resources when it comes especially to delivery, because that's the biggest struggle right now. Like I know that a lot of businesses, they receive a lot of inquiries from clients that they want to receive something in a particular time frame, but those businesses sadly aren't capable of doing that because they have limited resources in terms of delivery. So what they could do, they could partner up with other businesses that sell, let's say, like complementary to their products, and in that way they could do delivery together as well as run together marketing campaigns, which will be a good way of selling products and reaching out to new audiences without using paid ads.
So joint ventures,
joint ventures, something like that. So if you, I don't know, if you sell some I don't know, IT products, and you have someone who is selling similar to you products, I mean, like that complement them.
Help each other, promote each other's products. Very good. So email marketing, upselling, cross-selling, using some of the technology there to help identify products that they've maybe looked at and not bought. We've now got a discount, the sort of abandoned cart technologies, so squeezing more out of the existing visitors potentially.
Getting more from what you get, basically, because a lot of businesses are right now getting more traffic, but what they need to do is to find a way to churn them, into leads and clients. So if you, for instance, if you haven't yet started capturing leads, then you should do that. Create some forms and start capturing people. And so if you if you have some products out of stock, then let people subscribe to something to be notified about this, because I guess there are there might be some particular demand on some product that you have out of stock. Plus, optionally, you could try to find someone who had these products and be like a middleman in that situation. So getting a fee to a reseller, because that might be also an option for you.
So yeah, the whole out of stock products on an e-commerce store is another conversation around SEO, I think.
Yeah, that might be.
What do
That
you do?
might be.
Maybe we'll go there for a minute, because I think a lot of stores, they've spent all this time building their stores and their product pages, and then they have a bestseller, and then that bestseller goes out of stock for an amount of time. Have you got any recommendations what you should do with those pages and what you should do with those products?
I think there are a few ways. So, well, one way, it's like if it's a good fit to your current situation, you could try to find someone who is selling these products and simply redirect and get a fee. That may be my way, but not really. That might be a good fit for big enterprise companies. But if you're a smaller business, that might be a good idea for you, just to sell it, like, to get your money right now.
Yeah.
That's like, I think, like, due to the current situation, the cash flow really matters right now. You need your money right now in order to just, to purchase new products and to get things going. And to pay salary to people, to your employees as well, because that's one of the biggest share of your budget, I guess, when you separate it. What else you could do? You could simply put some similar products on those pages, and as I've already mentioned, put a subscribe button and say, like, it's out of stock and we are going to just, to get it back shortly.
We'll let you know.
Just we are going to, it might be a text message as well, whatever you prefer. Depends on how you run your business. What else you could do? I think, well, you could also redirect just within your website to similar products as well, which might be an option. What else? I don't know. Well, I guess more, like, there might be, I'm certain that there might be more, there should be more options, but it depends on a certain situation when you're looking through how exactly your website is structured.
Because I think sometimes you see certain products that sell well that are out of stock. Some e-com stores take those product pages down and take them out.
Oh, no, that's a bad idea, definitely, because you're going to be kicked out of from the, like, if you rank well, all those pages will be removed from Google search results, which is bad. No, you shouldn't get rid of them. So you should find a way to keep them and let people know that it's out of stock, but not really in a frustrating way. So they will see also. So what you need to do, I guess, you need to communicate clearly to a user that you keep this page because you want to let them know when it's going to appear. So something like that, so they're not going to be frustrated, like opening a page where it's like out of stock. But what's the sense of this page? You're going to get a very high bounce rate if those people will be coming from Google results. So
Okay, so lots of ideas there, but do not remove the page, obviously.
Keep it definitely.
Do not remove the page. You spent all that time building the authority of that page, that product. You're ranking well, and then you take it out of the back end of the CMS or whatnot. Crazy. So obviously that's the worst thing you can do. And then there's a few options depending on sort of what other products you've got in stock, what relationships you've got there. So on the SEO theme, then, what would you say are the biggest ranking factors right now for e-commerce stores?
Well, I think there are two, major areas. So one area is related to on-site SEO. So what you have on your site, basically, mobile friendliness, how well a user could navigate through your website, and everything like that. So all those factors. And also, having sufficient content on your sufficient number of words on your pages if you wanna appear at the top of Google results, plus keyword research. And then you have link building side. So I think it depends on what kind of business you have. I mean, like, how competitive your niche is and whether it's possible to rank well within your niche. So there might be some cases when you sell something that are also, you have a niche that is overcrowded by gigantic marketplaces or some e-commerce stores like Amazon, for instance, and there is no way to just to compete with them, or it's a very long term. Like, you need to understand it's a very long term investment. So basically, I think you need to use link building when you understand that you really have an opportunity. Otherwise, it's just a waste of time and money, because obviously it's always about, like, calculating how much time and money do you need to invest to get, I don't know, to a certain position in Google, versus the same amount of money that you could invest into, I don't know, paid channels. So and the results.
How could somebody go? Where would somebody start to sort of? It's quite a tricky question, I think. But so I've got an e-commerce store. I'm on page 3 for smoked salmon. I sell fish. I'm on page 3. I sell smoked salmon. I want to get to page 1. There's a lot of big people. A lot of big sites. There's 10 Amazons and 10 other high street stores, but I have quite a lot of money. Not me personally, but and
I understand.
I actually feel that I do want to go for it because I'm very passionate about my business and I've got a lot of fish to sell. So how do you go about calculating it, and what's your sort of
so it's quite easy. So basically what you need to do, you need to see the gap between your website and those websites that are currently ranked on their, let's say, on the first, at the top results. So like, very top ones. And so you just compare your domain authority, domain rating, depends on the tool that you're using. Like you could use, for instance, I use Ahrefs, and they have domain ratings. So, and if your domain rating is like, and then you just calculate the number of links that you need to acquire looking at your competitors to reach the same DR. So that's the first step. Then you look at the number of referring domains and quality of those referring domains back to their particular pages that are currently ranking well in Google. That's the second evaluation. So basically what you need, if your DR is like, let's imagine your competitors have DR of like 80, which is very good actually, which is a very decent DR, and you have like, let's say like 60, but they don't have too many referring domains to their particular pages, which means you need to get around, like, maybe in that case, I'd say around maybe less than 100 referring quality domains in order to, I guess, to outrank them. It depends, and like, you need to look at like, their pages. You need to also take into consideration how popular those websites in terms of getting traffic. So for instance, if you have a website that doesn't get a lot of traction, that might be a problem as well. So user behavior factor, they also play not a significant role, but they also, like, affect how well you're going to rank. If, for instance, you want to outrank an Amazon that has tons of traction. It's like users go in there, they're like, actually purchasing there, they are not bouncing from their website. So that's the second question, because I noted that, like, we have some clients that have quite decent DRs, and we built a good number of referring domains back to their pages, but they don't have relatively the same amount of traffic versus those sites that are currently ranking at the top results. And in this situation, we just need to build more links in order to kind of close this gap in terms of traction as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Okay.
links could solve this, but you need to remember that it's quite expensive.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you need to take into consideration all those gaps that you need to fill basically with links.
So
Because I know a lot of websites that even run by very, very poorly optimized pages, I would say. It's like not having a lot of content. We all actually, when we Google something, we stumble upon on those pages. And so they're like, you know, they don't have a lot of content, and so they don't look really good, but yeah, they are ranking.
Yeah. Okay. So we're looking for I think what a keyword there was like the gap between where they are, where you are.
Yeah.
And then looking at the domain authority difference, the link quantity, sort of
Link
average.
quantity and quality, yeah, because you need also very, like, you know, there might be some cases when, like, you know, you first you look like they have tons of links, but they're all not really good. So, and you could outbid them by, I don't know, like acquiring only a few links, but high quality, and that's it.
So
by the way, the last one thing, being a brand is very important. If Google understands that you are a brand, but link building helps with this. When you start acquiring links from high quality websites, Google automatically sees this as a signal that you are a brand, because, like, you know, relevant websites to your niche are referring to your website. So yeah, they're real guys. They're really does a business. And so, well, yeah, basically.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously links very important. Very, you know, you obviously get
it's like recommendations in real life. They're really important. If you don't have recommendations, no one recommending you, yeah, for sure you could, like, you know, acquire leads and clients through paid channels. That's your option. But if you want a organic, like, you know, client that will be coming organically, then you need those recommendations.
Yeah, no, totally on the same page. So talk to me about some of the strategies that an e-com store could actually do for, so we know you've got to look at the gaps, you know that you've got to pick the right fight, if you like, to make sure you're not going after something that's unrealistic depending on your budget. But let's say we've got a reasonable budget, and what sort of links can people build quite easily, or not, maybe not easily, but what sort of link types could e-commerce stores go after? You know, what sort of things do you think would be a good idea?
Yeah, I think like the word link building and the word easy shouldn't be together, like not meant to be together at all. Because link building, like I should say that link building takes a lot of time, and it's a very complex process, and you need to be, like, you know, if you've never done it, then you'll be lucky enough to build a few links in the next few months when you start doing link building. That's very true. I don't want to, like, you know, tell that you could build tons of links, and that's very much it. So I think the best way of building links, and that's what we do, there are tons of ways and techniques that allow you to build links, starting from creating an epic content, then pitching it to, I don't know, like journalists, influencers, whatever it is, and ending up with trying to just simply persuade people who mentioned your brand to turn it into a link, which is also, if you have those kind of brand mentions, definitely do that. Brand mentions, which is quite easy. But the thing that those who didn't add a link back to your website, most probably they did it on purpose. You should remember about this. There, like, you know, when you don't do something, most probably it was on purpose.
There's a reason why.
Yeah, there is a reason behind this. It's like, oh no, I just forget about this. No.
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, I don't think it's like, even though a lot of people say that it's a low hanging fruit, I don't think like that, because we don't use this strategy. But while you're getting into link building process, you understand that there is no like, you know, kind of those situations where people didn't mean to do something or forget to do something, everything happens on purpose.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to links and competitive niches, because people understand the value of a link.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the power and value.
Okay.
So what you could do
for brand mentions, then what's your best, what sort of tools do you recommend to sort of, there's obviously quite a few different options out there, but to sort of analyze a website, find the mentions of your brand that aren't linking to you, what's the quick win there?
Google Alerts will be if you want to find the new ones.
Yeah.
But if you are searching for historical ones, there are a few options out there. I know a tool, Brand Mentions. They show historical mentions. And also you could go, if you use Moz tool, the Moz tool, you could go there and they also show some historical brand mentions.
Yeah. Okay, so 2 or 3
options. So I think, by the way, if you have like we have a brand that is kind of sounds quite close to something else like Digital Olympus, which is quite close to Digital Olympus cameras, it's quite pointless to track your brand mentions.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest downside of Digital Olympus. While I was creating this company, I didn't take this thing into consideration. So if you plan to create a new company, then think over all those overlaps, because
use ranking and whatnot, and look at but you're doing okay.
Yeah, I'm doing okay, but I mean, like, Google understands that we're a brand right now, so that's okay. But still, like, when someone's most likely write about Digital Olympus, that's not related to us. Because it's like to cameras or whatever it is. So going back to a strategy, I think the best way to build links, if you are an owner of a white label website, will be finding people among your circles. So first of all, you could check your current circles, like clients, people with whom you're connected, leads as well. And there is a high probability that among them will be people that are relevant to your link building campaign. So the bad thing about them that you don't need to build relationships with them. So they already know who you are, they trust you, and you don't need to spend time in doing that.
Yeah, that's great.
However, the thing that everyone wants a link back, and you don't want to do a direct link exchange, right? Which is wrong. In that way, if you want to really scale this process, and you need to do guest posts, but you need to do guest posts not in order to build links, which is a stupid strategy and quite it's not a cost-effective one. I think it's very if it solves some problems that not related to link building. I mean, it's a good one to build your brand, to to build your brand awareness or whatever it is, but that's not the right one when it comes to link building. But if you use guest posts to link back to your link building partners in your guest post, then it starts to be a very, very good one strategy, a very effective one. Because you could link to up to 10 partners inside your content, and they are going to return you links.
So one blog post, 10 seconds. To other more chunkier bits of content that you put out there.
And so, well, for sure, you need to find those partners that have some decent content, because linking back to something that doesn't deserve a link is quite hard. Most probably editors will be removing those links. You need to remember about this. But normally people don't want to build links to some shitty pages, because they understand that it's not going to bring them the right traction, the right results. So what else you could do beside that? You could be like a middleman, so you could connect them and basically get a link back to your website by connecting your partners as well. And sharing some opportunities across them. So you're building some kind of a network which is also good. Well, the best link building partners will be those who are contributing regularly to other blogs as well. In that way, you could really scale this. So what you could do, you could go to Basuma and search for blogs, your industry blogs, and see who is writing there. And by exploring those people profiles, you could search by those author names inside Basuma as well, and see to what kind of blogs those people contribute besides, like, one blog. And in that way, you could find the right people to connect with, because those who are doing it on a scale, they're definitely building links in some way, whether they're doing it in a stupid way, just one link from one guest post, or they scale it, it depends. Well, I hope that the majority of people understand the power of guest posts and use it in the right way, rather than doing it in that way, or at least they're using it for digital PR needs. That will be good as well, but otherwise, yes.
So obviously you work on a lot of different clients, more so B2B, I think. Is that what you?
Yeah, it's B2B. And so we do what we do basically. Also, by the way, there are one more good strategy to use, which we are also using quite frequently, finding your industry groups with marketers that are like, like content marketers or something like this. And basically connecting, like looking like, well, there are tons of groups on Facebook related to literally any niche, where you could find people that are trying to promote their businesses. And what you could do there, you join those groups and look through their members, but you don't connect on Facebook, because Facebook is not for business. You go on LinkedIn and say like, hey, we're part of the same group on Facebook, and I'd love to explore some ways to work together on a link building site. And they are very responsive for sure.
You do that manually then, or have you got some special?
Yeah, I do this manually because I don't think because you don't need tons of those partners. You need to find only those that are really valuable for you, because when you go with you have like tons of partners and you get only one link from one partner, it's quite hectic, because you need to spend a lot of time to communicate with them, but the results are not so big. So we try to minimize the number of partners we are working with, so that we have different niches. That's the reason why we can't really cut this list to a smaller one. Plus, we have some clients, new ones that are coming, and we need just, to circle back to our old context. We are kind of like, but if I were just a business only doing link building for my digital Olympus, I only go with a few partners that write across a good number of blogs. Actually, we have a few that are related to digital Olympus, and they just do like 10 guest posts per month. And that's very much it.
So working on a lot of different projects and a lot of projects over the years, seen a lot of different strategies and sort of differing degrees of success with different things. But what would you say, could you give us a bit of a insight into one of your best campaigns that you've worked on maybe over this last year or so? Some of the things that you did obviously you might not be able to tell us everything, confidentiality, I understand, but you might be able to sort of give us an insight into a real life project where you researched in a certain way and then you created X to get so many links. And
the very bad thing about our link building strategy that it allows to build us links to commercial pages as well. For sure, those commercial pages should be designed in a particular way, but we have some clients for which we've been able to grow their organic traffic back to their commercial pages around like 40-60% on a yearly basis. On an annual basis, and that's very good, I think, because it's not like generic traffic, it's just landing straight to their commercial pages, and their intention were like they're ready to purchase those leads. We also have one client, but they're a very big company, and they launch also new commercial pages to monetize their traffic, because they monetize it through their pages by sending people through those pages further and getting commission. And so we've built only 20 links back to those pages, back to one page actually.
What sort of things did you do to build those links?
Well, we do, like I've already told you, basically we just, what we do, like for clients, we do a similar strategy basically.
Yeah.
We do guest posts, but only on behalf of our partners. We have like some people with whom we are just partnering with. We produce content for them and they publish them under their names.
Yeah.
If it's not relevant to, like, you know, niches where we could do it under our names.
Yeah.
And we just produce those guest posts under our name. Our client, they are not involved in this project. They're just simply getting links. We return links in our guest posts or content that we control.
Yeah.
And so, well, that's very much it. By the way, if you don't have time to write a solid guest post, but you know some blogs that are ready to take on board a roundup post, and you know some cool perks within your industry, that's your lucky, let's say, ticket to a link building campaign, to a successful winning link building campaign. What you could do, you are reaching out to all those cool dudes, collecting their answers, publishing these guest posts. They're all, like, you know, you're also involving for sure your partners as well. Everyone getting links, and you could get up to 20 links from one guest post.
Yeah.
And that's very much it. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. Easy. Just like that. So,
well, it's not easy at all. It only sounds like, let's do a roundup.
So we just contact 20 people in our industry, ask them a question, collate that into a Q&A style. And then everyone's featured. Okay, so where do you see SEO going? You know, this next sort of 12 months, what sort of things do you know, I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of different SEO authorities in over this last month for the podcast, for our own agency. And there's some definite threads in there around sort of time on site and dwell time and that sort of thing. But what sort of thing, what's your sort of take on what's the most important things? And you're not allowed to say the word link building. No, you can.
Well, I think it remained the same. I mean, like, the basic principles remain the same. You need, like, you know, a website that your users could navigate through a website effectively. So this means you need a mobile friendly website. You need to optimize it in terms of structure. You need to ensure that like, you know, your internal structure makes sense. Also, you need to get, like, you know, what I'm a big fan of when it comes to on-site SEO is getting rid of, especially if your website is quite small. So your number one goal is to get rid of all pages that are not really valuable. So you need to, like, you know, on a monthly basis, or at least on a quarterly basis, open your website and go through all pages that you have. And if you see that they are not getting traffic, and like, you know, people are not coming there internally as well, and they are not really ranking well in Google, then most probably you need to get rid of those pages.
Get rid,
the less pages you have, the better your main pages will be ranking. So even, like, you know, my heart was broken when I had to delete some content pages from my website, because I remember that I spent some time writing content. But then the next question is, I sit down and I try to evaluate how many links I should build to back those pages and to a website in general, to keep it just, you know, going up in terms of DR. And so I like, no way, I just deleted them, because the process, like, you know, the number of links I realized that I need to build in order to fill this gap versus the quality of those pages, I was like, no way, getting rid of this. And actually it really helped us. So we firstly, we were like, you know, our impressions and everything was like going like down. But then, while impressions were really going down, we saw like a very significant decrease of clicks. and pages that we've been building links to started to rank much better.
Yeah, yeah.
So don't afraid of getting links, of getting rid of those useless pages. They are not going to
no, that's great.
to help you.
Yeah, I think that's great, because there's so many, you see so many sites where they've just built another page about a similar thing, another page about a similar thing, and then it's just, Google's just confused, isn't it? It's like, which one should I rank? The canonicalization problems, you know, you're just putting more crappy pages on your website, basically, rather than
and just, you know, split what you need to remember, that you split your domain authority across all those pages.
Yes.
So the more pages you have, the more links you need to build.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Okay. So what would you say is the most common mistakes that you see people making with SEO and link building that they should avoid? There's quite a lot, I guess.
Quite a lot. Well, I think when it comes to SEO and whatever it is, you don't need to overcomplicate the thing. I mean, like, if you have a small website, you don't need technical SEO. I just say that even though it's a buzzword right now and everyone is concerned about technical SEO, unless you are an Amazon, or something similar, you don't need technical SEO. That's not your pain.
Yeah.
So what you need to do, you just simply need to ensure that you target the right keywords.
Yeah.
Yes, that's your job, because there is no way to start ranking in Google without targeting the right keywords. And it doesn't matter how many quality links you're going to build back to your pages and to your website. If you are not targeting the right keywords, so people basically are not searching about, are not doing searches, then there is no way.
Yeah.
Well, for sure, you will be ranking on the first, you will be ranking at the top results, but no one will be coming to your page, no visitors, no organic visitors, quite useless. So start with, like, you know, literally any kind of SEO process should start with targeting the right keywords, but you don't need to do like a comprehensive keyword research. No need. Just find a few keywords that you want to target that have a not an insane competition. So like, you know, open SERPs, check them as well, not only relying on tools and using, like, you know, SEO tools, but also opening SERPs is very important, because what you're doing, you are ensuring that users really have this intention, which you are assuming they have, because you need to double check it with the help of SERPs. Plus, you look at those websites as well. You're double checking that a tool that you are using is right, because no one is perfect.
Yeah.
Even me. Joke. Kidding. Just kidding.
A lot of tools out there, but when it comes to keywords, obviously there's obviously different tools out there, but nothing better really than checking what is coming up in the index, see who you're competing against. You know, what sort of what the market is like, the competition, the locality, whatever it may be. Okay, so a lot of different training courses out there for SEOs, a lot of different resources, a lot of different tools, a lot of events, a lot of different, you know, there's so much stuff that you can learn. I think it's, you know, it's a big field, isn't it, SEO? Just link building alone, you know, is so much stuff there. But for the guys that are listening in that are quite interested in maybe learning more about SEO in terms of training courses, what sort of training courses would you recommend?
My favorite is by Robbie Richards. So he is kind of, it's for advanced SEOs.
Sorry? What was the name?
Robbie Richards.
Robbie Richards.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's very knowledgeable, and I highly recommend him if you want to, like, you know, do it so in the right way.
Yeah.
You need to subscribe to his kind of he has a landing page where you need to subscribe, because he opens enrollment a few times per year, so you can't just, you know, simply go and grab it.
It's like a closed community.
Yeah, kind of. Well, one more thing will be Traffic Think Tank, which is I think Nick Eubanks and a few other guys. They're running, Matthew Barbie as well from HubSpot. They're running this. It's a community. Plus, they have some courses as well. So you could subscribe to their kind of community. They have a Slack channel.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And you get access to tons of other community members. Plus they do some webinars, you could ask questions. So this is a very good way into conversational way, I think, of learning. If you have some questions, you could ask community. And the last thing, I think, I would recommend Talia Wolf, even though she's not purely SEO, she's more like a mixture of SEO plus conversion rate optimization. But I think for e-commerce businesses, that will be a very good one.
Yes.
Because you need to keep a balance between SEO and conversion rate optimization, because it's very important. And she's very good. She has a course about email marketing, how to convert people more effectively using emotional triggers.
Yeah, okay, good.
A very good one to...
That's Talia Wolf. Yeah.
Talia Wolf, her name.
So that's some really good, actually, some very good courses there that I've not actually heard of. So it's like I'm looking forward to having a look myself.
Now we have plenty of time to do that. Time for learning.
Yes, there's a bit more time now. Well, I think there's a bit more time now. I think I've got another 10 weeks sat in my kitchen possibly. So who knows what I'll be doing. Tools, there's a lot of different tools. I know obviously you worked at SEM Rush for I think 4 years or so, and obviously you were holding their flag for 4 years, and that was the best set of tools. And I know they have some amazing tools, but what's your sort of stack? What's your day-to-day tool set when you're...
I think my number one tool currently is Ahrefs.
Yep.
So I'm on a direct competitor side of SEM Rush.
You can find
I think SEM Rush is just, they're great when it comes to competitor analysis, but they don't have some graphs when it comes to backlink analysis. So for instance, the main graph for me is the growth of the historical growth of referring domains. Sadly, SEM Rush doesn't have this graph. So being honest, in Ahrefs, I don't really go too much into details as well. Mostly I just look at their main dashboard and it tells me everything. Just a quick look at their dashboard.
It's good, isn't it? It's simple.
It's like, I look at a few graphs and sometimes it's like, I need to go into details because there might be some specific situations. So for sure. Suspicious cases, let's say, when I want to ensure that this particular website is not a part of a PBN, or they are not acquiring links in some unethical way, because it's very important for me. When it comes to link building, it's very important to acquire those. It's like, I want to refer one more time to recommendations. No one wants to get a recommendation that's not going to pay off in the long term run. So you need a trustworthy recommendation. You don't want to buy fake recommendations. That's the same. You want to those links to keep your website growing throughout the years, not only for today. So
Ahrefs, but we're still using SEM Rush as well.
Still
hanging in. No, they're really good.
I use them for organic research. So they have a very powerful set of reports, as well as I use their position tracking tool. And so what else? I use their site audit a little bit, because we don't do technical SEO, just for my own purposes. We use also their social media toolkit as well inside the SEM Rush. And one more tool that we are using time to time is Pitchbox. This one is specifically for email outreach. Even though we don't send mass email outreach, we time to time go there to do some link prospecting. So there are, what you could do inside Pitchbox, you could do everything from A to Z when it comes to email outreach. But if you do mass email outreach, you still could do link prospecting. So basically, you could type in any relevant keywords to your client or to your own website, and it's going to give you a list of websites that have relevant to your search queries content. So like pages with content that are relevant to what you've just typed in there.
They seem to be very popular, Pitchbox, at the moment.
I think so. There are one more option, to be fair, BuzzStream, for instance.
Yeah.
Which is, I think they first of all they're cheaper. Yeah. Because Pitchbox is kind of enterprise tool, I think, because they don't allow you to purchase it on their website. You need to go through demo and blah blah blah. Yeah. So yeah, I think if you're just starting an email outreach and you want to do use any kind of a tool, then might be BuzzStream will be. Yeah, BuzzStream be a better match just to start from something. I think
BuzzStream, and as you build up, depending on the size.
Yeah, but being honest, you don't need any tool besides Ahrefs to just to check the quality of links, and you need just to join your industry communities. That will be fairly enough.
Okay. So, final question. I always like to finish on a book recommendation. What book would you recommend to our listeners? Anything.
I think my favorite one is, when it comes to related to link building, let's stay there, Getting to Yes.
Getting to Yes.
Yeah, it's about negotiations. It's about how you need to just go through the process of negotiations, so people will be happy to to stay connected with you, to keep working with you. So it's all about what you need to do basically when it comes to negotiation, literally anything. You need to start with think not about your benefits, but about benefit that you could bring to this person. So first of all, you need to analyze what kind of needs they have, and you need to just to address those needs. Your messages should be about them, not about you. I think that the reason why all those quite traditional standard email outreach messages doesn't work, because what happened there, everyone is talking about their awesome content.
Yeah.
So you don't really address. You need to change this kind of process, and you need to just talk about them first of all, and then only about you and about your needs once they are satisfied. In reality,
a master negotiator now then.
Well, yeah, it's like link building is all about negotiations.
Yeah. So you are. Yeah, we need to maybe rebrand link building is now the link negotiating. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of partnership marketing.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? And I was looking at the speakers that you have for Digital Olympus, and obviously the amount of relationships you have in the industry is amazing, and obviously that's taken time. But that's a lot of genuine work, isn't it? Where you're actually taking time out to speak to these people, build relationships. That's obviously taken years.
It's like, I should say thank you to SEM Rush, because they were helping me to build those, at the very beginning, those connections. And so I should say big thank you to SEM Rush that allowed me to just to build those connections. And for sure, the next step is to just to nurture them, to keep engaged with those people. And that's the next thing.
Yeah. So for the guys that are listening in, want to find out more about you and your company and your different things that you're doing, what's the best place for them to find out everything about you?
You could go straight to our website. It's just digitalolympus.net. Or you could connect with me directly on LinkedIn. Yep. So just search for Alexandra Tachalova. That will be also an option to go. Or you could just simply connect with us on Twitter. We are super responsive. If you have any questions to me, or just in general, you could write also to Digital Olympus, and we are going to reply.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Alexandra.
Thank you.
Amazing. So much value in there. It's officially going to be the link building edition for the podcast. And I'll speak to you again soon. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Richard.